Trevor Bayne now bumped to 18. 15:24, his best lap. He's run 24 laps.
Way tighter that run. Up off the corner, good in, but way.
All right, if I could have your attention, please. We'll continue our media availability this afternoon with Danica Patrick, driver of the number 7 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. And this is Danica's 4th straight race to start the season and will be her last race with the Nationwide Series until joining us again at Chicagoland, going home for that. First time at Bristol, coming off a pretty good race at Vegas. Talk about it.
Gosh, I think I was, I don't know if I'm on. Am I not online? Should I just talk louder? How about I just switch? Close enough. It's probably appropriate that it didn't work, to be honest, because that's about how I felt. I don't really know how to feel. I think it was pretty decent in the first practice, and second practice it really went loose on me. So I was generally a little bit uncomfortable, and I think that showed the showed in the speed. But I think when the car gets right, I mean, I think it'll be fine because I'm not that happy, but I'm not out of control, out of the ballpark. So once it's right, I think it will be really good. But the race is a whole different thing, and I mean, I did come off of a really good result in Vegas, so that's really nice. But Bristol is a new track and definitely a different kind of track. So for me, it's just about finishing the race and just doing my best and progressing through the race. I think that's why I've done better when I've gone to a track for a second time, because by the end of it, I feel like I've figured quite a bit more out than I knew before. And that's what I'll be aiming to do here, is to just learn throughout the race. And, it'd be nice to have a good finish, and I think it's definitely a possibility, but I'm not expecting that. If I can just, probably even a top 20 would be something I'd be okay with here, just because it's so different and so new. So my expectations are definitely reeled in for this one, and I suppose it would have been nice to have Vegas be the last one and Bristol have come before that, so I could enjoy about 3 or 4 months with my last finish being 4th. But got to have the last 2 weeks anyway, and Tony Jr. is really listening to me, and I think that the car will get better as we go along, and hopefully it does. But I mean, at this point in time, I'm generally a little confused, just because I haven't done that much yet. So. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just about the fact that I have more realistic expectations, just not as high expectations here, just because of its newness and difficulty.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start off with Mike Massaro. We'll come to Jenna, and then we'll go to one of our affiliates in the back here.
Danica, Carl Edwards was in here earlier today, and he told us that despite the fact he's had a lot of experience here, his first laps out there still always get his attention and kind of settle him in. What were the first laps like for you out there today?
Slow. They were just building up. They sent me out really early, like right as soon as it went green pretty much, and it was recommended to maybe go a little bit after that just because the track will be dusted off, but I needed some time by myself out there with as few people as possible, so I was able to build up the speed as I went along, and I think that at the end of my first run I did like 16.2, so I thought that was decent. I feel like Tony Jr. told me last year that maybe I heard him wrong, but it was like a 15.9. So I thought, that's not a bad start, and we progressed and we got down to a 15.9 in the first practice. So what really got my attention though is in the second practice how quickly, if the car goes loose, you can go from being comfortable to on edge just for every second of the lap. Except for maybe a second or two down the straightaway. So I found myself on edge entry to exit, and that definitely gets your attention. And I would imagine that for the most part, the car shouldn't feel absolutely perfect, and so you're going to have to deal with some of that. And so it's a matter of getting more comfortable and also getting the car a little bit closer to what I want. But I think when the car is good, everything gets easier, and when the car is not perfect for you, it definitely gets your attention here because you don't have much time to relax.
Jennifer, Associated Press. What was, from our small little snapshot of the outside world, it seemed the reaction to your run in Vegas was very favorable. People were very impressed, particularly IndyCar guys. What was the reaction you received from your world?
Yeah, everybody was disappointed. No, everybody was happy. I mean, it was something that we didn't think would come so soon, and a top 5 in anything would be good. A top 5 in an IndyCar race is good, and I've been doing that for 7 years, so this is the 7th year now. So everybody was very encouraged. I got a lot of congratulations across the board from obviously the NASCAR world to the IndyCar world, and everybody was seemingly happy and impressed with that. So yeah, there's not much else to say. Everybody was congratulating me.
Travis Wells, WDBJ. Danica, I know you've probably become pretty accustomed to being in the limelight. I just want to ask you about this comic book thing, and that's sort of taking it to a different level. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think you'd have a comic book?
I don't know. I didn't think much about it. Sure, I don't know. That sort of stuff is unauthorized, so I guess the part that's cool about it is that they've done a lot of really famous people, and so to be put in the context of the other famous people that they've done comic books on, that's pretty cool. But I suppose, with anything that's unauthorized, it's all pretty much fair game. So it's cool, it's just an extension of me and my brand, and the fact that, and proving the fact that it reaches beyond just a racing crowd and goes out to more of mainstream America that obviously in this instance wants to read a comic book about me. And I definitely I don't think the sketches were perfectly accurate in all of them, but it's always neat when somebody does something like that because they feel that they will have a benefit from using your image, identity, and name to make money, I guess. It's flattering in a way.
All right, we'll go to Jeff Birchfield, Ed Hinton, and Bruce Martin.
Hey, Danica, I know this weekend's probably I would imagine it's maybe one of the tracks you most anticipated coming to for the first time, just all the curiosity. Probably nothing, like you said, you've ever raced at quite like Bristol.
I don't know if you ever really get too excited to go to somewhere that you think is going to be difficult. So I don't know if I was anxious to come here, but I think as a driver you look forward to experiencing unique tracks, and then the challenge of doing it and doing it well is a confidence builder as a driver. So but I knew it would be challenging, and so where my comfort is on bigger tracks, this is not only unique in its own of a short track, but short tracks are my biggest challenge. So I look forward to going to tracks that are new for the experience of it, but it's also you're meant to go fast and perform, and so when it's something very new and uncomfortable, it makes it harder to do that. So I don't know. As a driver, I just like to finish well. So.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Danica, Mark Martin said a while back, he said in an IndyCar, the only time you slide the car around is on the way into the wall. And he said he thought one of the main things that would be a key learning thing for you would be to learn that not only can you slide the car around, you just about have to slide the car around. Is that computing fully with you yet? And if so, might a full season of IndyCars kind of erase that file from your reflexes?
I don't think so. I feel like I've actually had a much better testing leading up to the IndyCar Series this year than I did last year. Last year was a pretty decent struggle. So with that in mind, I did a full season of IndyCar last year, and the end of the season went well. The beginning's going well here, and I don't think that doing something else takes away from what you've learned, but I think that it does take some learning to adapt to the certain style and handling that you need to be fast in these cars. But at the end of the day, I believe this holds true no matter what kind of car you drive, is that if you're not comfortable, you won't go fast. So my fastest laps were done when I had the biggest push out there instead of being loose. So you need to be able to drive the car. You need to be able to hustle it, have confidence in it. And so, I suppose in all of my racing experience, the fastest I've ever been is when I am the most comfortable and confident in my car and not the most scared and on edge, because for me, and I would imagine this is true for a lot of drivers, it's difficult to push a car that you don't know what it's going to do or you're not confident in it, because that's our job, is to push the limits. And when you're not sure when that's going to sneak up on you or when it's going to take over and put you too far over the edge, you can't get there. So I think it's just about getting more familiar with these cars and learning what kind of mechanical changes I need to be comfortable and fast at the same time. But comfortable does equal fast to some degree, for sure.